The intensive needs student information form will be for a handful of students at your schools, and it's used to help plan supports and things at the school level for the different types of needs that your school is facing. So to either start an intensive needs student information form or to work on one that's already been created, you'd open your Clever. Make sure you have the location selected. If you have more than one location, you want the one for the student. And choose the intensive needs student information form from the drop-down menu. These students have forms created for them already. If your student's name is not on this list, check that they are active. Inactive are students that moved away from the school, either to a different division or a different school. Pre-registered are students that aren't enrolled yet, but should be coming soon, so like pre-kindergartens or kindergartens in January. Active are students that are in the school, so if they make sure your student is active, or you might just need to add a form. If one has never been created for that student, this might be a brand new form. You just have to add it. If you see the student's name and you open it up, or if you made a brand new form, it's a blank form. This light blue box should pull automatically if a form is created new. It pulls from our student information system, our SIS. If it's blank or if the school's name is incorrect, it doesn't match whatever you're wanting, you can force it to integrate by going to integration import data, and it will bring the current school name. For my fake student, it's not going to pull anything, so I won't even bother pushing it. The other main thing here is the required fields are required. You need to pick something. And if you are doing this, the information is for the school year. A lot of these forms are completed in the spring for the fall to help count numbers and things like that. So if the school year was 2021-2022, I would be completing this for next year. I would put in next year's date, and that fills up the completion tab. This is the only thing that is required because it's very important when we are trying to sort students and numbers and things like that. The rest of these drop downs and tabs and things you fill in as best you can. So for next year, will the student be face-to-face or online? Student will be in grade 6, let's say. The supports needed, have they been occasional or frequent? EAL as a language program, or English, Ukrainian, French, Cree, other, Michif. Transportation form, is there a transportation form? And if you're not sure of the transportation form or the safety plan form, if you just go up to the forms and hover, these are all the forms the student has, and you can jump straight to the transportation form or the safety plan form. And if they don't show up, like if this safety plan didn't show up, then no, they don't have it. If they have a transportation form, yes, they do. Parent signatures only are required in December, and you can, get the date of whenever that parent signature was gathered. This tab for one-on-one support, this field and this tab are only able to be filled out by a coordinator. Make sure that it's filled out correctly though, or if you think there is a problem that this says yes and you should say no, or vice versa, contact your coordinator and have a conversation. If you happen to know the student is moving to a new school, try to give a heads up as best you can. So if this is, June of 2021 and I'm filling this in for the next school year, and I know that the student will be leaving Bishop Roborecki, I would choose, September of 2022. I would just choose like the first day of school. And I would tell or choose the school they're moving to. If it's within our division, there's just a drop-down menu and you just choose the school. Or if they're not moving within our division, they're leaving GSCS to attend, or they're graduated. They're over 22 years. They're leaving the province. It's unknown why they're leaving. You just know that they are leaving. And if you happen to know the school name, type it in or leave it blank. The first time you fill this in, you don't need to submit the form right now. If this form is already filled in though, and you change it in October, you need to resubmit, and we'll talk about the submission tab in a moment. The rest of the form is if the student is a high school student, if they have cognitive assessments, things like that. The ministry categories, again, only coordinators can update these categories. So if you see something that is incorrect or you think there should be something added, talk to your coordinator. Here is where there's a student support profile rubric attached, and if you click on that heading, these are the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the scales of for academic achievement, for communication 0, 2, 4, 6. So you basically go through these for each one of your students, and you give them a ranking. 0 is there are no health needs. 6, intensive. Use this rubric to go through all of the impact data, because then you have to put it in here. So if you chose a 2 on that rubric, you would type in a 2, and you can see that these last shaded in boxes will add automatically for you. So if you put a 0 or you leave it blank, it counts as the same. So you can go through and add in, and you can see the number is increasing as you go. Okay. The second tab, again, this is only completed by a coordinator. They will speak with you. They will have conversations about students. Some of these levels of support, the intensive need, some of that might change. So you might need to sit down with your coordinator and have that conversation. But any areas of intensive needs that apply. So if there's physical therapy supports needed, there's seizures. Again, the medical facilitator might be a part of the team if there are any of these types of issues that show up. Behavior and safety, requiring supervision before, after school, at recesses, communication or instruction, any type of systems or equipment that is used. And finally, any comments or other notes that you or the coordinator would have for the student. The last tab, so basically once you've filled in all of the information here and just checked over that this tab, if one-on-one support is needed, the LAT submits to board office. Check that off, push the send notification button, and this date fills in. Okay, if it's already filled in, you don't have to submit it unless you've changed this after your initial submission. If this changes, you just flip back to here, this submit tab, and repress this button, and the date will update to today's date. Once the board office gets notification that this has been completed, they're going to go through this form, and they might contact you and say, I don't understand, or you're missing this piece, or this is no longer valid. Once it has been approved, it gets sent to the coordinator. It gets chosen, by school, and it gets sent right to that coordinator. At the top, if you want a printable report for this student, this is what it looks like. So all the biographic information, the methods, the parent signatures, all of that types of stuff, and then the impact data here with the total amounts of categories. If you have any questions about the intensive needs student information form, or any other questions about Clever, you can always call 8888 or start a help desk ticket, and someone will get back to you ASAP.